Weather coverage you can count on with the Way 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network.
Good morning and happy Saturday. I'm Way 31 meteorologist Brylee Brown. The sun is up in North Alabama, but we're waking up to cloud cover. You can see, courtesy of the Way 31 Sky Camera Network, all of us seeing dense cloud cover overhead, and it's going to stay that way throughout the rest of today. Temperatures in the low 50s this morning. It's pretty comfortable on the Way 31 Early Warning Radar Network. We aren't dry this morning. Numerous showers spread across North Alabama. They're really light, and most of them are east of I-65 at this time, really in DeKalb County. We're going to see some more develop throughout the rest of today, your hour by hour. Steady rain chances, they really aren't going anywhere. It's a great day to stay inside if you're able to do so. Great day to just stay inside, watch movies. Don't get out if you can avoid it. Future radar, I want to show you, these continue to develop throughout the early morning and continue through the afternoon. They become a little more light through the afternoon, and then heading into the evening, some more develop in North Alabama, continuing throughout the overnight, but then around 10:30 they really push to our southern counties and it begins to be a little bit more quiet. Early morning Sunday, if you're heading to church, you may want the umbrella in hand because we still have some showers developing on radar then as well. But the good news is by mid-morning Sunday afternoon, we're just going to be left with cloud cover and we will be seeing drier conditions and our temperatures warming. Today we'll reach the upper 50s, 60s, some of us, and then tomorrow even warmer. Temperatures topping out in the low 70s for your Sunday. If you've been enjoying this spring-like weather this week, I say spring-like, almost summer in some areas. It really does feel quite warm. It's going to continue throughout next week. Now we do have some rain arriving Monday with this low pressure system. A cold front will usher in some showers heading into Monday afternoon. So with those warmer temperatures, also seeing some rain chances. Our countdown to spring, going to continue watching this for you. We are 23 days away from March 20th. That's when spring officially arrives. Here's your 7-day forecast. Temperatures look nice if you like warmer weather. We're in the 60s, the 70s, but this cloud cover sticks around along with these shower and storm chances. You can see there, really expecting the heaviest next week heading into Monday afternoon. We get a break Tuesday, and then heading into Wednesday and Thursday, storms and showers roll right back in. Alex.
Thank you. Well, we're not going to go ahead and let this rain put a damper on our weekend plans, are we? So we're going to go ahead and give you a look at some of the fun events that you can go to next. I know with all this rain, you may want to stay inside, but if you still want to head out, here's a look at some of the events taking place across North Alabama. There's a new exhibit in downtown Huntsville that tells the story of the area's most successful Black-owned businesses in the post-Reconstruction era. Brick by Brick, the legend of Henderson and Daniel Brandon tells the story of one's family path from enslavement to freedom. It will be on display at the Harrison Brothers downtown through September 30th. And it's going to be lit at the Mark C. Smith Concert Hall at the VBC. Canadian pianist Catherine G. will play Lit's Tontantas, or the Dance of Death, along with the Huntsville Symphony Orchestra. Now, as a classical pianist myself, anything by Litz is nothing short but impressive and impossible to play. I blame my small hands compared to Litz, of course. But if you don't know anything about this composer, he is known as one of the first rock stars of classical music, with some young ladies even collecting his used handkerchiefs and making lockets from strands of his wild hair. So if that's enough to convince you to go out to this concert, this will be a performance you don't want to miss. The Litz Fantasy Concert starts at 7:30 tonight. Out in the Shoals, the first ever River Hill Chili Cook-Off is today. It will be at the Singing River Brewing Company in Florence from 2 to 6. It costs $10 to taste all that chili, and best part is that all that money will go towards River Hill School. And if you want to be the very best like no one ever was, head on over to Early Works Children's Museum for a Pokemon takeover. There will be a Pokemon creation station that will also have you traveling through the land, searching far and wide during a scavenger hunt, and you gotta catch all those trading cards. No worries if you don't know how to play. Experts from Lucky Dice Cafe will be there from noon to 4 today to teach you. By the way, this is all part of National Pokemon Day, which is this Monday. Time now 6:24. It's now been more than a year since Russia invaded Ukraine. We take a deeper look into how North Alabama is playing a role in the war.
Coverage you can count on. Wave 31 Morning News starts now.
Taking a live look from Decatur on this Saturday morning. Thick cloud cover, and I'm tracking some rain. We'll talk the details coming up.
And it has now been more than a year since Russia invaded Ukraine. We take a deeper look into how North Alabama is playing a role in this war. Good morning, and thank you so much for watching Wave 31 Morning News. I'm Alex Torres-Perez. I want to go ahead and get started with Wave 31 Storm Tracker meteorologist Brylee Brown with what you need to know before you head out that door. Brylee?
Good morning, Alex. What you need to know is if I were you, I wouldn't head out the door. Thick cloud cover overhead. Here's a live look from Montesano, courtesy of the Wave 31 Sky Camera Network. You can see very cloudy outside. I don't think we have any fog, but very thick cloud cover. And our temperatures, we are mild outside. A little bit on the cool side. It's 53 degrees in Huntsville, 52 in Scottsboro, 57 in DeKalb County. Good morning. I think you're the warmest there. But through the rest of today, we're going to continue to see these scattered showers develop on the Wave 31 early warning radar network. You can see multiple showers now. There's some in Scottsboro and Fort Payne there, but they're going to continue to move on through even southern Tennessee throughout the rest of today. Your day planner, clouds overhead. We have scattered showers. Temperatures peaking in the low 60s by this afternoon. So if you head out, just make sure that you have an umbrella in hand. Definitely going to need it. We do have more rain arriving next week, along with temperatures staying warm. I'll walk you through the details coming up. Alex.
It continues in Ukraine.
I'm not afraid. We are ready to defend our country.
Bring you more details on that invasion, the largest of its kind in Europe since World War II.
Tension and fear mounting in Ukraine.
Thousands of women and children are right now trying to get out of Ukraine.
The U.S. is worried the city of Kyiv could fall within days. NATO announcing new, never-before-taken actions after the Russian invasion. Meanwhile, the Pentagon said the U.S. will provide, quote, additional security assistance to Ukraine.
It has now been more than a year since Russia invaded Ukraine. As you saw, we've been covering this extensively over the last year. Now, this war has already left hundreds of thousands dead and millions of Ukrainians displaced, including 250,000 now living here in the U.S. Now, some here in North Alabama say that they're doing what they can to raise money to help their home country.
Using that kind of money to ship some items to Ukraine from United States, and we're sending money to buy food and medicine that people needed in Ukraine.
Now, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says if countries around the world keep supporting them, they will, quote, definitely win. Now, you may not realize it, but the Redstone Arsenal actually plays a key role in helping Ukraine defend itself. Wave 31 anchor Marie Watzel gives us an exclusive look at those support efforts that are coordinated right here in North Alabama.
Anchored at Redstone Arsenal is the Army Materiel Command. Its mission? To supply any and everything the soldier or warfighter needs in the field.
Clothing, medical supplies, anything that a soldier needs to fight and sustain the welfare of that soldier, AMC is responsible for.
While U.S. Army troops are its top priority, its responsibility stretches beyond our borders to our partners and allies around the world.
It's all about democracy and deterring aggression.
Renee Mosher, Director of Operations and Readiness at AMC, said the command has coordinated about $10.6 billion in weapons and supplies for Ukraine in the past year. It doesn't make the policy. The command executes the plans that come from the White House or Congress. But it's not as simple as it sounds. It's a massive logistics web of efforts that flow through partnerships at Redstone. Those partnerships include AMC and its major subordinate command, the U.S. Army Security Assistance Command, along with organizations and personnel around the world.
The center of gravity is here at AMC at Redstone Arsenal.
Right now we have 134 partners and allies that we are providing capabilities to.
The aid for Ukraine started long before Russia's invasion. It was always there, just as it is for other allies. But war brings a new sense of urgency.
We are balancing those priorities for those cases. We have to look at, well, are they already getting it through a presidential drawdown? Are they getting it from a partner? Can this partner that we may be delaying, can they do without it? If not, we've got to push, because we're not just focused through a soda straw on one country and one conflict. We have to maintain readiness around the world.
Dr. Myra Gray serves as the deputy to the commanding general of the Army Security Assistance Command. Part of her job is making sure the U.S. remains the top priority.
We don't just sell to anyone. Every sale has to be within the U.S. interest. If it would not be in our interest, in our national security interest, to provide a capability to a partner and ally, we will not do it. It's not just whoever has money, it's not just whoever has an ask. It must fit in with our own national security objectives.
No matter what the aid looks like.
It can go from something very small, like some let's say pistols, to something huge, such as a Patriot system.
It's not just products. The aid can also include any training and necessary maintenance.
What I think is important is understanding, again, this is not just sales. This is providing capabilities, and there's a multitude of positives from that. When we deliver a capability, we're supporting our industrial base, both commercial and organic, so it helps us as a nation. We have partners who can then fight the fight, which means we don't necessarily have to. It's a strength in partnership. There are many different positives about selling, none of which are really about the money. And Huntsville and the Tennessee Valley are pivotal in bringing this about for not just Ukraine, but for past as well as any future conflicts we have. Being ready helps prevent those conflicts, and then when they happen, being ready to rapidly respond. And that's what we do here in North Alabama.
Standing guard in hopes of delivering peace to different parts of the world.
People ask, why Ukraine? It's all about democracy, and it's all about deterring aggression. That's what the U.S. stands for.
And that was Way 31's Marie Watzel reporting. Now, the Defense Intelligence Agency broke ground on a new facility in Huntsville Friday. It will house the Missile and Space Intelligence Center's Advanced Analysis Complex. That organization, that group, has actually played a part in the ongoing war in Ukraine.
It's because of the work that's been done here at this center, the work that's been done by DIA and others who have invested over the decades in what we're doing here, that we're able to understand what they're doing. We're able to help a partner counter what they have done, and we've helped the Ukrainians sustain themselves to be able to maintain at least a fighting chance of pushing them back and freeing their country from that tyranny.
Now, DIA's mission is to provide intelligence on foreign militaries to prevent and decisively win wars. You can show your support for Ukraine in the Rocket City this weekend. Huntsville will join 63 other cities across the country for a rally to mark 365 days of defending freedom. It will start at 1 tomorrow afternoon at Big Spring Park.
Your weekend forecast, a little bit of rain, a little bit of sun. We've got to get through the rain today. We have dense cloud cover overhead now, and our temperatures slowly climbing into the upper 50s, low 60s by this afternoon. Now, tomorrow is when we'll see drier conditions and warmer conditions with temperatures in the 70s. For the next 12 hours today, again, we're gradually warming. We've got to grow through the upper 50s, and then we'll reach the 60s, some of us by this afternoon. But the cloud cover overhead is helping us to stay pretty mild in temperature. We need some sunshine in order to warm, and we're not going to get that today. On the early warning radar network, some scattered showers already developing in North Alabama and southern Tennessee this morning, but it's pretty quiet. There were some showers in DeKalb County earlier, but they've since moved east. Still pretty quiet, but again, expecting more showers to develop throughout the rest of the morning and the afternoon. February is almost over. Can you believe it? Here's our high temperature map. You can see that for the majority of February, we saw above average temperatures. Only several days did our highs fall below average. And if you like this warmer weather, this pattern is continuing through next week. We're going to talk about the details in my full forecast. Alex.
Thank you, Brylee. Coming up, one woman is speaking out after her activism flags were torn down. Why she says this is a big deal.
Coverage you can count on. You're watching Way 31 News with the Way 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, the war in Ukraine now entering its second year amid growing fears that China is considering whether to supply weapons to Russia. Our team is on the ground in Ukraine and will be joined by national security official John Kirby. Plus, new testimony from Alec Murdaugh, what the former attorney revealed during his return to the stand as prosecutors question his timeline and integrity. And the rare and incredible find that has archaeologists buzzing. We are taking a look at a stunning discovery that's just been made on Easter Island as our own Michael Strahan gears up for his big trip. It's all ahead right here on GMA.
A woman in Madison is keeping her guard up after someone took down the activism flags at her home twice. She told me the feeling of not feeling safe on her own home is something she never expected to feel after being in the community for years. Except for the concrete company across the street, Michelle Nelson says her community off Burr Green Road is pretty quiet.
We just want to exist and live and enjoy life.
She puts out decorations outside her home to try to make people smile and share a bit of positivity. Last year, she added a women's rights flag, a Pride Progress flag, and a Black Lives Matter flag to her 8-foot fence to spread awareness.
I'm very supportive of these three groups of people because they're human rights. You know, there's so much going on with our government and our personal lives that we just feel invalidated, like we are not able to exist fully or safely in our society, in our country, in our communities. And so for me, it's very important to stand up for and have that visibility for people that need it.
She understands a lot of people don't necessarily want to talk about the topic, but she never expected someone to cut the flags down. Earlier this month, she replaced them with new flags, and within a week, someone came in the middle of the night and ripped them down again.
To me personally, I feel like it's more than just trespassing or destruction of personal property. I really feel like it is more of a hate crime because of the flags that they were. You know, if it were Happy Spring flag or just Halloween decorations or, you know, holiday decorations, that might be just acceptable to think and categorize as just destruction of personal property. But because of the three specific flags that they were and the people they represent and the fact that it's happened twice now, I definitely feel like it's more of a hateful intention.
And although she's upset about the whole situation, she said she would still want to show them love.
We have no other choice. We have to live together and hopefully leave the world a little bit better than how we found it. And the only way we can do that is by showing love and loving each other and not doing any more of this fighting and bickering stuff.
Michelle Nielsen did file a report with the Limestone County Sheriff's Office, and officials there say that theft and trespassing charges are possible, but they did not give an update on this investigation. Crimson Tide freshman standout Brandon Miller hopes to break a university record today. That's despite controversy over his actions before a deadly shooting. The controversy started this Tuesday when Tuscaloosa investigators revealed that Miller's former Alabama teammate Darius Miles asked Miller to bring him his gun. That gun was later used in a deadly shooting. Investigators insist Miller is a cooperating witness and not a suspect. Miles and Michael Harris are both charged with capital murder for that deadly shooting. Both are in jail without bond while a grand jury reviews this case. New this morning, the NCAA handed down its first name, image, and likeness related penalty. The University of Miami is now on probation for a year. Officials say the women's basketball coaches accidentally helped arrange contact between a booster and two players before they signed with the Hurricanes, which is not allowed. No names were released, but the NCAA did reference a tweet by booster John Reese that included a photo. I think we do have that photo of him and Haley and Hannah Cavender. Now, the twins are not subject to any of those sanctions. The Jackson County Sheriff, who was just reelected, will retire April 1st. Officials say Chuck Phillips is stepping down for personal reasons. He started his fourth term in office in January. Governor Kay Ivey will appoint his replacement next month. The First Lady says President Joe Biden is not done yet. Joe Biden told the Associated Press that he will seek re-election, and all they need to do is choose a time and place to make the announcement. Biden aides have said that an announcement is likely to come in April. Financial experts are worried after a new report showed a jump in inflation last month. It is the first time the index has ticked up in 3 months. Data says prices rose 0.6% on a monthly basis and 4.7% in the last year. One group wants to make sure local families can put food on the table. One Generation is bringing a mobile food pantry to Madison County today. Volunteers will start handing out food at 9 o'clock this morning at Hazel Green High School. They encourage anybody who needs help to stop by. And low-income families can now get some help to pay their water bills. It's all thanks to an $8.7 million grant for community action agencies across the state. Now, people in North Alabama can apply for help with the agencies listed on your screen right now. They will pay the bill based on a person's qualifications and available funds. The City of Madison wants to make sure you're ready for anything. There will be a free community preparedness fair today at Discovery Middle School. It will be from 9 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. Several agencies and organizations will be at the Ready Fest to go over a number of topics for you to be prepared. That ranges from severe weather and energy conservation to financial safety.
Weather coverage you can count on with the Way 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network.
Good Saturday morning to you. I'm Way 31 meteorologist Brylee Brown, waking up to cloud cover, dense cloud cover. Here's a live look from Lake Gunnersville in Marshall County this morning. Big cloud cover overhead. Temperatures in the mid 50s, and they're going to stay pretty much in that area throughout the rest of today. We're not going to get any sunshine, so that's not going to allow us to warm much. On the Way 31 early warning radar network, some more showers developing. We had a few earlier in DeKalb County. Now they look like they're along I-65 there. They're going to continue to develop throughout the rest of today and in southern Tennessee as well. Your hour by hour, pretty steady rain chances across the area today all throughout the afternoon, and they'll taper off by this evening. But if you have any plans, any errands you have to run today, grab the raincoat because you might run into a shower or two heading out the door. Let me walk you through future radar. This cloud cover stays in place all day with numerous showers developing. There's a little bit of a lull throughout the afternoon, and then in the evening we see some more develop in North Alabama there, north of I-65, and in southern Tennessee as well. Later tonight, maybe a few of us still dealing with these showers, but it's not really a storm event or anything like that. It's just widespread rain. Sunday morning out the door, if you're heading to church, you may want to grab the umbrella then too, because still some showers likely to be prevalent across North Alabama early tomorrow morning. But then by the afternoon, you'll notice that we begin clearing in terms of rain. The cloud cover pretty much stays in place, but the rain will be out of the way and we'll have drier conditions, and our temperatures will warm tomorrow too. Today's highs, we're landing in the upper 50s to lower 60s there, 60 degrees for Huntsville. Warmer in Etowah County, they may reach 67 degrees there. We're counting down till spring. We've been enjoying this warmer weather. Hopefully most of us have. This week was just beautiful. We had plentiful sunshine throughout a couple of the days, and temperatures warmed into the 70s. Actually broke a temperature record, but 23 days until spring, counting them down. And you can see that our temperatures staying in the spring-like feels this week. In the 70s, mid-70s, it'll be pretty comfortable. Now, future radar here, we do have some rain coming in on Monday. A low pressure system will usher a cold front into the area Monday afternoon, and we're expecting some widespread rain, maybe a few rumbles of thunder as well, but right now it looks like just a rain event. So we have clouds today, less clouds tomorrow. We got to get through this rain, and then heading into Monday, a little bit more rain. Tuesday is clear, highs in the low 70s. More rain and storm chances heading into the latter part of next week, but our temperatures, they're nice in the 60s and the 70s. Alex?
Thank you, Brylee. Coming up, a North Alabama sheriff is now the new president of the State Sheriff's Association. What he's hoping to accomplish in his new role. New this morning, a new proposal seeks to limit telehealth prescriptions for some drugs. It's all an attempt to fight the opioid crisis. The proposal would require patients to see a doctor in person before getting drugs to treat attention deficit disorders or addictive painkillers. The Drug Enforcement Administration will also clamp down on how other less addictive drugs can be prescribed over virtual and phone visits. New this morning, the Alabama Sheriff's Association has a new board president. Franklin County Sheriff Shannon Oliver says it is an honor to be chosen for this role. He hopes to bring more in-depth training for sheriffs and employees across the state, but he mainly wants to make sure that everyone has a voice and support when needed.
Law enforcement's in a tough time nationally, and through the media you see all the bad things. And one thing I would like to do is spread a positive light on the good things that law enforcement do. It's not always about arresting the bad guy. There's a lot of good things out there that's done.
Now, despite the added legislative duties, Sheriff Oliver says it will not affect his day-to-day job. Now, one does not simply announce several new Lord of the Rings movies, but that is exactly what Warner Brothers Discovery did. After more than 20 years, My Precious is coming back to theaters. You can expect the first film in April of next year. The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, will be an animated film that tells the untold story behind Helm's Deep. This all happens hundreds of years before the events of The Lord of the Rings even takes place. The James Webb Space Telescope has made a surprising discovery in a galaxy far, far away. Or should I say galaxies? The telescope revealed 6 massive galaxies that existed between 500 million and 700 million years after the Big Bang that created the universe. The discovery is completely upending existing theories about the origins of the galaxy. Astronomers have discovered something outside of our solar system, a forbidden planet. NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite made the discovery about 280 light years from Earth. Now, they call it a forbidden planet because of its enormous size. It's about the size of Jupiter and the small star that it orbits. Scientists now plan on observing the planet using NASA's premier James Webb Space Telescope. An uncrewed Russian spacecraft is expected to dock at the International Space Station tonight. Russia launched it to replace one that sprang a coolant leak, leaving 2 cosmonauts and 1 NASA astronaut without a ride home. Now, that crew will return to Earth aboard the spacecraft later this year.
Staying on the cool side today, temperatures landing in the upper 50s to low 60s. We do have some scattered showers in the forecast as well. Tomorrow, more dry. We're on the uphill climb to warmer weather. With that also comes with more rain and storm chances, Alex.
I just need all that rain to go away.
Go away.
Well, Good Morning America is next. We'll see you back here at 8 a.m.